Yo, how's everyone doing? I think this is the first actual tier list I've made in terms of character strength. This time it's just my opinion. No one else is with me. Or I mean, I say this time as if I've done it before, like I literally just said. But no, I don't usually express my opinions in terms of tier list. I did a while back ago, like on Twitter and stuff, but for quite a while, I kind of just mostly share among people that ask, or among friends when we're talking about character strength or what we think of the game. But yeah, this is the first time I'm doing it like on the channel. My opinions are very interesting. It's gonna look a little wacky. I think, and again, it's all opinion based. I will say these two things. One, from transitioning from Zato to Sin, I think my opinions on characters have greatly changed. Characters that I would think used to be broken or very, very strong, or, maybe they're really weak, but I thought they were just, mid or, strong at like just some. Oh, I thought a lot of characters were a lot stronger than they actually were due to Zato having very bad matchups into a lot of different characters when I was playing him, right? Obviously, I did play him in Season 2, but I was more talking about the Season 3, like, Zato nerfs. I've only started taking Sin pretty seriously in Season 4, and a little bit before that. I've been playing Zato for quite a bit, so again, my opinions have changed greatly. Like, for Jacko, for example, as you'll see, I will rate her pretty low compared to what I would rate her if I was playing Zato. Secondly, I just value different things in characters. I am not too much of a believer in lower HP characters. So if you think someone like Chip could be in the top 10, I will disagree. But do I think the character is bad? No. I just value a more consistent game plan, and I don't believe lower HP lies within that barrier. So yeah, again, I see the game a lot differently than I ever have before. Yeah, I guess that's just something from playing at like the more top level that it's just kind of grown on me. So yeah, I don't want to keep anyone waiting. Let's get to the tier list. So for S tier, I think these are the characters in the game that just best everyone. I think they don't really lose to anyone. They do what they want to do the best. I think the A tier is for characters that are super strong, but have some flaws that actually matter in some matchups. They can overcome those matchups, but it's just, yeah, slight flaws. I think the B tier is they're strong and they're capable of winning, but they have actual flaws that matter. So they lose to a good amount of characters. At C tier, I think it's characters that just have a big flaw. It's just, I think they're good in matchups where they don't lose, but it's still harder for them. D tier is just characters that just don't do anything insanely well. They might be fine, but they just don't win super hard anywhere. The tiers it actually comes in it's perfect. If anything, I'll make one more tier. Like I'll go, just like characters like I just think are bad. Like I think every character in this game is good, except like 1, 2, or 3. To start, I'll put Dizzy. She's not great. She loses some matchups horrendously. She's not good at anything, to be honest. She's just not good. I don't need to go too much in depth with her. She's just not a good character. I've talked about her before. I've made videos on her before. I've talked to a bunch of Disney players. I've, fought the character. She's too lacking. She needs to be strong at least in one area, and she's just not. They took away her pressure tool and made it a better zoning tool, but she's not a good zoner. I think she can be annoying to fight at sometimes, especially if you don't really know what you're doing or you let her get in your head, but outside of that, like, I'm not a believer, and nor is anyone else. I don't think anyone's a believer with this character. Next is Asuka. So, okay, I'm actually biased. Okay, so Asuka is one of the characters I've played heavily before. I'd say my best character is obviously Sin, and then, Zato and Sin are my best characters, right? And I think right below that are Asuka and Happy Chaos. This character is he's just so nerfed, and he just does not fit in this current game that well. Everyone got more HP, and he didn't get any HP changes, so he became less unique. They nerfed his pressure, they nerfed his zoning, they nerfed his everything. They did everything. Like, his supers. He went from having 2 of the best supers in the game to having 2 of like the worst supers in the game, dude. Like, it truly feels like that. He just doesn't do that many things great. It feels like the matchups that were already bad got like worse. Yeah, I don't know. This character is just not like, he's just pretty bad. Kind of bad. These 2 characters are kind of bad. In terms of anyone else going here, I don't think so. I will just no. I'll just leave those 2 to rot there. Okay. So next, and again, I will try to order these within the tier. These are all going to be ordered within the tiers, so I will try my hardest to do that. I will say, I'll say Dizzy's the worst for now, but I'm biased, so I'll say Oscar. But realistically, like without my bias, I think it's yeah, I think it's her. Next up in D tier. So D tier, first character I'm going to put in here, and again, I'll order it at when I'm done with the tier. And this is going to be really surprising. I know there's gonna be like, what the Jacko. I don't think this character is really that great. So I think Jacko is just too dependent on minions to do like anything, like at all. I think that there's characters in this game, like she can snowball, but I think there's just characters that can do it better with less effort than her. And I think that's the issue. Again, in this game, there's not really a weak, like bad character, like besides the two, right? But everyone else feels strong. And I was in the opinion that every other character, like there was the top tier, the high tier, and then every other character was in a tier below. But like, you know, close. The game is close in terms of power level between the characters outside the top tiers. And even then, they weren't even that far compared to the previous seasons. But I do think that, you know, since I do believe every character is somewhat strong and viable, it also means, you know, in this, especially in Strive, there's every character feels like they can snowball. It's the same thing with like neutral skips. Like I think Stun Dipper is really good, but it feels like every character nowadays has some version of Stun Dipper, whether it low crushes or low profiles or whatever, right? So I think Jacko is just like losing her uniqueness in the same way that I thought Zato was losing his uniqueness when he got nerfed and they added Wild Assault. So I think Jacko is probably here, but keep in mind I also play Sin, and if your character loses neutral to Sin, which I will go on and on. Sin loses neutral to a lot of characters. Damn near it feels like every character. But he beats Jacko in neutral. And she just cannot get anything really going. Her defense is not that great. Her damage just doesn't feel that consistent a lot of the times. It just like, she's just so dependent on minions. And I can see her, like, who does Jacko beat? I don't really know who Jacko's out here destroying. I'm sure maybe there's some matchups, but I feel like she just loses some matchups due to her character archetype pretty badly. I don't know. Maybe it's the sin in me speaking, because I used to think Jacko was really good, but I don't know. I'll put Jacko here for now. Next character I'll put here is Ino. I think, again, same issue. Like, she can snowball. Other characters just do it better. Like, cool, she has mix-ups. It feels like everyone that got, like, mix-ups, dude. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just tripping. I mean, her defense is pretty bad. I mean, she's just doesn't feel all that consistent in a lot of different areas. But, yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about Ino. But, yeah, that's Ino. Also, one thing about Ino as well is it feels like she just out-risk rewarded by a lot of the cast. Yeah, like pretty heavily. So, yeah. But let's move on. Next character here, and this is going to be really dude, this is going to be so surprising. Especially because there's a person in America that just wins with this character over and over again. But I'm going to put Kai. Oh, wait, wrong tier. Kai. Sorry. Okay, so why is Kai here? What does Kai do? My issue with Kai is, out of all the characters in the game, it feels like Kai is the character with the most counterplay built into his kit. He's so basic that it's just like, you know, IBFD this. His offense is simple. Like, there's not much to think about. He can't put you in too many situations where you're not just guessing. His offense, like I said, isn't that scary. He has just basic counterplay built all around his kit, and it's just, you know, if he's beating your character, it's mainly in neutral where he's beating your character. But even then, I think that some of the characters that just have, a lot of characters in this game just have crazy neutral that I think he's just like, you know, his far slash has been nerfed. It went from like, you know, his conversions are worse, his neutral's worse, you know, his offense is worse. Like, he's gotten, since 3.0, this character has gotten hurt. He's taken hits. He can't confirm counter hit dire clap mid-screen. He can't do that anymore. He's so reliant on shock state. He's like a two-step character now. He's not great at catching your backdash anymore. His far slash lost like 4 active frames. It got more recovery. His 2S is 11 frames now, so he can't, you know, his combos on counter hit sometimes are a little wacky off close slash, I believe. It's, you know, he's a Stun Dipper, like I said, has gotten nerfed. He's just, I don't know. He's Kai. Like, he's just basic. He's just, you know, your basic Shoto. His fireballs got a little better, especially for pressure. Who does Kai beat? Like, who does this character slam into the ground? He doesn't he may not really lose to anyone, but you know, if he okay, he probably loses to some characters, but even then, that's probably not like he doesn't get like blown out of the water by any characters. But who does he beat? Yeah, I don't know. He just feels like his matchup chart maybe should point him in the direction of him being consistent, but his strength doesn't scream consistent to me. It's just not a very strong and like powerful kit when I look at it. I think Danny, now people are gonna be like, well, Danny is always win. Okay, listen, I think the only real good Kai player out there like that is doing anything on Kai, and again, there's great Kai players. There's Fern, there's Nub, there's Blue Heck when he played Kai, there's what's the guy? He plays Johnny now, dude. Naru, right? There's some good Kai players out there. I'm sorry if I forgot somebody. But, you know, the great Kai players like Danny, and Scambellini, that's my goat, Scambellini. I'm sorry, Scambellini is also, that's the goat. But Danny is like the one that's putting out the results. He literally plays like and this is no disrespect to that. He is literally like one of the best players in the world at this game, right? I'm glazing. He's literally one of the GOAT. Like, I have trouble beating him like we literally go back and forth. Like, he's literally like better than everyone in North America. But he plays like like he's always sending it on this option and this option and this option. And he's very confident in his decisions, but he's playing like a slot machine a lot of times. And it's just like, I think he's putting in a lot of effort, but I think there's characters that just, and then on top of what Kai does, like, even though it's not great, I think there's characters that just do what he does, but better. So I'm a little biased, you know, I think this character has gotten heavily nerfed over time. So again, Danny is the GOAT, but you have to like play like, you know, so different when playing this character. I just don't believe it. So he's here for now. I think next, wait, do I want to order? Yeah, I think I keep this ordering. Next, let's put Bedman. Why is Bedman here? Okay, so Bedman, he's low. He does have a lot of HP. The HP buffs are eating, but he just doesn't have good enough neutral. He's like supposed to be the fireball neutral character. They nerfed his offense to, you know, and they nerfed his offense, but you know, he kept his JS and, you know, whatnot, and you know, the bomb head became a better neutral tool instead of a pressure tool. But like his ability to stay in just doesn't feel great, especially now that it's nerfed. It doesn't feel that good at all. All you have to do is just burst him off or deflect shield or YRC. Kind of just has to hold that. His defense is not that great. He just has a lot of HP. But yeah, no, not enough neutral, or sorry, not good enough neutral for if that's the thing that's supposed to be good on him. It doesn't feel like it, to be honest. And his ability to stay in just is not great. Once he gets going, he can get going and snowball, but again, there's characters in this game that just snowball better. And even then, he doesn't do a whole lot of damage, so he does get, I mean, yeah, he just doesn't do a whole lot of damage either. No guts either, which is, yeah, but still just a shitload of HP. Next up, after the bed, I'm gonna go, I'll order after this. I'm gonna go Bridget for now. I mean, she's annoying. Sure, she just doesn't have a lot of HP. She is a DP, which is good. Active DP, but I mean, yeah, no, she just gets out risk rewarded by the whole cast, and in a game with where the damage is where it currently is, her damage is just too low. That's as simple as it gets. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. She just does not fit greatly right now. Yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna spend too much time on Bridget. This character's not really interested. Next up, we have Axel. Axel, again, he's like a zoner, but other characters are like better zoners in this game, and he's just inconsistent all around. It's not great. No one plays this character either. That's another thing that I'm also considering a bit. You gotta consider like the player base and if there's even players. No one plays this character, dude. Trevor was playing Abba the last time I saw him. Like, you know, I haven't seen Stealthy play the game in ages. Remy quit the game. Like, no one is really playing this character. The best one we have right now, I believe, are Death Heaven and Ant. So, but yeah, outside of those guys, yeah, no one's really playing this character. Just inconsistent, not great at what he does. Has to work a little harder for his hits, the actual combos going. So, yeah, I mean, he's here. Pretty, Axel has been low. Pretty, yeah, it's just been low a lot. Next up, okay, I'm gonna put these two characters. Now, I know, oh, wrong tier. I know. People are gonna be like, what? Oh, wait, Axel, sorry. Let me move him here. He's here. Axel is, yeah, to continue on with Axel for just a little more. He does have some good stuff going for him, but again, just a lot of bads. Great 2K, great 2P, whatever. Chip, okay, so the reason Chip and Millie are here, low HP. Low HP is just not enough. It's the game, okay, so I don't believe that their game plans are consistent enough to go along with their tiny HP. Like, their HP is so just not, it's just not there, dude. that I don't know. I think both in terms of their kits alone could be A tier, but they have to touch you like 2 to 3 more times than you gotta hit them. Unless they just like super dominate you in neutral, right? But that is not easy alone. Just too little HP. Okay, here's the thing. Is it too little HP or do other characters just have too much HP, right? I do think though, like I said, I think their kits alone could be in the A tier. It's just with lower HP, I'm not a believer. But I know there's people doing great things on the characters. Some people have their days, right? I know Walter's cooking up right now. I know Marvello's cooking up right now. It's just, I'd just put him here for now. You know, Chip obviously has a TP going for him, but again, he has the lowest HP in the game. Like, you're down, you hit that fellow, then it's just like... And here's the thing, too. So, like, I play Sin, right? And the neutral versus these two characters are not great at all. Like, Sin, again, like I said, I think Sin loses neutral to, like, damn near every character. But versus these two characters in particular, it's really hard, especially Chip. Oh my gosh, the neutral it feels impossible. It feels unplayable at times, right? But on a character that doesn't even lose neutral that bad to Chip, so like, for example, Kai, or even characters that beat, you know, Chip and Millia in neutral, right? Let's just take Kai, for example, right? Being able to stand closer to Chip on equal footing is like, you know, in times where he has to risk his life going to hit you 20 times, you just gotta hit him once and the neutral as is already, like, it's not that bad, you know? Like, you kind of have to think outside your character and put it in a perspective of a different character or the majority of the cast outside the character that you play, just because whether they're bad or just have bad neutral, right? Like, you know, Mei, Happy Chaos, Soul, you know, Ram, Naga, right? These characters, they're not getting horribly out neutral by, you know, these speedsters, right? If you play a character like Dizzy and you think that Chip is the best character in the game, I don't blame you. But you got to think about outside our characters, there's a lot more threatening characters than the characters we play that give these characters a run for their money. And I just think that it's not consistent enough. So I would put them here for now. But they have great kits, but I just don't believe in lower HP like that. Let's see. Anyone else? In this tier, I will also put one more character. Zato. So, Zato. He got some good damage buffs. People got damage nerfs. So it feels like Zato is able to keep up when it comes to damage. One thing about Zato's mix-ups is they're set up before, like, it actually, you know, when he hits you, you have a lot of risk is what I'm trying to say, or at least a good amount. And with the damage he does off his mix-ups, that's one thing that's always been good about Zato. He does really good damage off his mix-ups, right? Maybe not towards, you know, guts and whatnot, but when he hits you, when he first hits you, it feels like it's gonna hurt, right? They buffed his conversions. He's able to take you to the wall with Eddie if he hits you with counter hit, far slash, or 2S, whether you're crouching or standing. Always, I mean, best mix-ups in the game, arguably. I mean, has fuzzies, this, that, right? Very tight, fuzzy timings. Really good offense, especially in the corner. Better offense mid-screen as well since Season 3 due to the summon recovery buff. But yeah, no, he just does a lot of damage for what he does. He's good at one thing, and that is his offense. And it's only has gotten better, especially since they did fix his command grab to make it so that when you do the command grab, Eddie will refill. They buffed his far slash to you can now do far slash invite hell on non-counter hit, whether it's standing or crouching, which is huge because they buffed the attack level of the far slash. This also means that his command grab is better in the corner, since before, you know, far slash and the summon could be jumpable and it was pretty RPSable. And now when you do command grab, you do far slash summon, and this is mid-screen as well, you know, not off command grab, but you know, just mid-screen going to summons, far slash into pierce is not jumpable anymore because the attack level buff. So his offense and the way he sets up pressure is better. His command grab is better, which means his offense is better. His damage is better. He got a health buff. He now has the same HP as Happy Chaos, or Happy Chaos went down to have the same amount of HP as him. You know, Sword Super did receive a nerf, which was kind of uncalled for, but he still has Flight, which is very hard to deal with on a lot of characters. If your character has poor anti-airs, then it feels like you're getting, you know, it feels like you have to hold it a lot of times. But, you know, he still has terrible defense. Still lower health, more health than before, but still lower health. You know, does a little more damage though to compensate. Yeah, 2 resources, you know, Eddie's still a struggle to use in a lot of different matchups in neutral. And so, you know, he's still pretty bad versus burst. He's not great. You know, he is way better than he was in earlier season 3 versus burst, but still not that great versus burst. But, you know, has his issues, but he's good at one thing, where I think the characters below him for now, it feels like you know, outside, or at least the characters in the lower tiers, they're not good at they're not great at one single thing, where Zato is great at one single thing. So yeah, he just lacks consistency a bit, but he is definitely a lot better than he's been all of season 3. So I will probably put Bedban as the last character. I'll put Zato probably like that, something. Yeah, probably like that. Next we have B tier. So I'm gonna just throw characters in here and I'll go and order it. And okay. Let's start with Slayer. Slayer's in this tier. Slayer got nerfed. So Slayer is still very strong. He does a lot of damage, but what else does he do besides damage, dude? I think Slayer, like I said, tons of damage. He has good buttons, so 5k is very good, right? 6H is good, but more pressure, so, right? Far slash good in pressure, whatnot. 2S, 10 frames, good. But, you know, he's good buttons. But the issue is, his neutral is pretty sketchy due to his movement. It's, you know, pretty hard to get around the screen a lot of the time, so you're pretty Mappa Hunch reliant. But Mappa Hunch is a lot less scary than it used to be due to Slayer being less scary than he's ever been since the nerfs. And, also, people are just finding out how to play around it a little better. You know, also, the 2H nerf also just killed his neutral a bit. It got like 20 more frames of recovery. So pretty sketchy neutral, doing a lot of dandy stuff in neutral, which I'm not the biggest believer in. A lot of characters just shut it down. On top of the sketchy neutral, his defense is awful. Slow backdash, bad backdash, pretty whatever, P-normals, not great, they're all right. But yeah, not great defense, to be honest. No dash block, etc. Not much health either. Slayer went from a tanky character to just, he dies way too quick it feels like he dies way too quick for what he should be. You know, he just dies, dude. It's so weird. Slayer actually just dies. I think it's like one gut, right? And he gets melted, dude. He just feels like okay, I'm over-exaggerating, not melted, but he just feels like your average character when it comes to HP. Like, he just, like, I don't know, he just has HP, dude. Not a whole lot of it, though. Yeah. I mean, also, one thing about Slayer, too, is he's pretty meter-reliant. He's always been meter-reliant, but I think now, I don't know, it's just, again, people are kind of figuring out how to play him a bit, and his scare factor is disappearing a bit. He's pretty meter-reliant to get his offense going, but yeah, he's alright. I mean, he's a good character. I just don't think he's what he used to be. No reversal either to add to his bad defense, like I said, because of the nerf, lower health, like I said, 2H worse, right? Whatever. So, Slayer's there. The next character, and again, I'll order it in a bit, Faust. I'll put Faust in this tier. So, why Faust? Where do I start, dude? Faust is one of the best zoners in this game, and it feels like he can just steal rounds or just take them from you, you know, just win the round easily, even off a few lucky item pulls. You know, it feels like he does good damage, has great Oki on a lot of realistic touches. I think the only thing I can see that is really bad about Faust is he gets snowballed by like super big disjoints and big damage. Like, he doesn't have a whole lot of HP. It feels like characters with normals that are better than his, he just can't do anything. Like, if you can contest Faust in the normal battle, it just feels like, damn, like, whoa, from how it looks, right? It feels almost like he's similar to Testament in that area, right? With, you know, characters that just can kind of delete what he's doing, right? But if you don't have the, you know, whether it's resources or, you know, the kit to really contest Faust a lot of times, you kind of have to like play the actual neutral with him, then it is hard, and you just lose rounds because of because a meteor decided to show up on the screen, or a mini Faust decided to, you know, come through, right? So yeah, that's my take on Faust. Next up, we have, and again, this isn't ordered just yet. I'm gonna go and order it in the tier when I'm done putting all the characters in this tier. I am gonna put Abba here. So, Abba, why is Abba here? Abba is, okay, I think Abba's strength, like her power level, is so high that I think she could even be in this tier. She is way too strong in Jealousy Rage. She is legit the best character in the game when she hits that Jealousy Rage. It's too broken. Like, it is, that alone, she could be in this tier. No, forget A tier, she could be in this tier. Jealousy Rage is so strong. I think in terms of peak ability, that's what I would say for that. I think Jealousy Rage is, like I said, I think Jealousy Rage is essentially a GG's to, like, against anybody. I don't think there's a character in this game that can reliably keep out Jealousy Rage ABBA. Like, it just doesn't sound realistic to me. I'm gonna be honest. Their issue is, and this is what holds her back and sends her back. So the thing is, she has to get into Jealousy Rage, and there's some characters that just shut her down and actually force her to work pretty hard to get there. I do think there are, okay, maybe I'm overreacting about the GGs, but I think that there are some characters that in this game, even when she gets into jealousy, depending on how much she has, like if she goes into it on like a lower bar and you know, she kind of has to run at you and hope she can hit you like in a very short amount of time, I do think there are some characters that can kind of just run from her and force the timer to go out. But I mean, if she's full jealousy rage and like, it doesn't matter who you are, bro. It feels like she's gonna hit you, right? And you're gonna take 1,000,000 damage into whatever, into then it's getting like you're back into it. But yeah. Also, the nerf to the hop is, dude. Oh my gosh, that nerf, dude. It was a big nerf. It was a big nerf, but thankfully it's gone. That move was absurd. It's still pretty good now. It just was absurd, dude. If they revert it, expect her to be here, dude. She has a whole lot of HP too. She did get the HP buffs from season 4, so she's very strong. Next up, let's go with you. Okay, why is Baiken a beat? So Baiken, I think, is one of the hardest characters in the game to actually approach. I think that I do think that she has S tier defense, S tier Oki, S tier damage. Right, she does it all. I think she's very strong. I think the only issue with Baiken is when she has to fight a character that doesn't have to deal with it, her defense. I do think that if you're a character that doesn't care about parry, or you're a character that doesn't have to approach her, then you're having a really good time. Outside of Zato. But yeah, I think that's why she's in B tier. I think she could be higher if maybe her bad matchups got a little worse or a little better for her. But yeah, I mean, it's a legitimate flaw, whether we like it or not. I mean, like I said, great mix, great Oki, great defense, but I think she just has a bad game plan for some characters. So I'll put her here. It's a flaw. Next up, okay, this one's gonna Gold Lewis. I'll put Gold Lewis. So Gold Lewis, dude, where do I start? So I think Gold Lewis, he can't just kill you on block anymore. So a lot of characters, especially like characters like Sin, for example, can just roll the dice versus him more often than not. I think the matchups that he was supposed to lose before he can actually lose now due to them being able to play the game. I think now the option of just FDing Gold Lewis out is like a legit option now. Not like always, but I think it can be. And then of course, once you FD him out, he kind of has to fumble his way in, right? Especially with White Wall being less scary than it's been. Feels kind of forgotten at this point. It's still a thing, and it's more matchup specific. Especially without it feels like he kind of just has to fumble his way in. Drone, I think Drone is still really good. It still does exist. He did a nerf to the minigun though, which was pretty big for him. He does have a lot of HP, but his defense is not great. It's not great at all. It's probably better than Slayer's, but it's not great. Yeah, I mean, I think the only reason Gold Lewis is in B tier and not lower is because when he hits you, he feels like triple S tier. But yeah, I'd put him here for now. His scare factor has fallen. He still does like some of the most damage in the game, but unironically not the most damage in the game anymore. Or I mean, maybe not. Maybe he just hasn't. But yeah, no, it feels like there's characters that do a little bit more damage than him. And one of them is actually gonna get talked about pretty soon. But yeah, no, still a really good character. I mean, damage is absurd, but you know, that's kind of what he is made for. That's what he does, right? He's damage. Let's see. Next up, I'll put Geo. So, why is Geo in this tier? Geo is kind of like Kai. Like, I know. Geo's kind of like Kai, but better neutral, and her pressure is good enough. Her stagger pressure is good enough to the point where it's like fine. Like it's better. It's way better than Kai's stagger pressure. I'll say that. No DP, which sucks. So of course she can't be too high. But you know, I will say very good character. Just stagger pressure based, which but good enough that it's fine to play without a DP with her. She's a 4-framer, really good neutral. Her neutral got buffed because she's even faster now when she has meter, I believe, like faster than before. So she's solid, but she's just not like broken or anything like that. She's just a really solid character. Less counterplay to her than Kai for sure when it comes to, you know, what they do. So yeah. And then I will say, so there's 2 more characters in this tier. First, let's put, actually, do I want to put 3? No, I'll put 2. First off, we have I'm lying. Testament. So, why is Testament here? I think Testament is like Faust. So, Testament is essentially like the best zoner in the game. I do believe they are a true zoner. The buff the Grave Reaper was crazy good. I think this character is heavily underrated. I think they've always been underrated. I stand with Marvello, dude. I'm glad that they are good enough to the point where I can actually say that publicly. Like, I stand with Marvello, dude. This character is always, not always, but like in season 3, or I guess the later versions of season 3 as well, I think this character was solid, dude. Like, they're a good zoner. They have good normals, good far slash, you know. They're P normals. Okay, so their defense, the issue with them is their defense is just so bad. They don't have good defense at all. 6P nerf as well in season 4 also hurt. So 6P nerf that hurt them and Zato the most, I'd say. Definitely hit them like really hard, especially because they're a zoner trying to stop all the jump-ins and whatnot. And, you know, contest like crazy shit in neutral. But yeah, 6P nerf, terrible defense, and there's some characters that just ignore their game plan. But I mean, if you have to play that game versus Testament, dude, it is, oh my gosh, dude, it is hell. This character's zoning is so just crazy hard to get by. Stain lasts longer. I believe that was the buff. It lasts longer, right? It just feels like you're running around with a bomb strapped to your chest, dude. Like, they get a full combo, obviously, if they hit you with it, right? And then it's different on block, of course. But yeah, no, crazy good neutral. But again, there's some characters that just get out the way. So I'll put Testament in this tier. The final character that I will put in this tier, it's Sin. I'm sorry, guys. It's Sin. Why is Sin in this tier? He's just... Dude, oh man. This character is just... He's good. Do I think he's the most overhyped character in the game? Yes. I think he's very overhyped. Bad mash options, so he's already pretty weak to spacing traps. But I mean, in matchups where, you know, you have to mash like Soul, just doesn't feel great. That's why he's very reliant on IB and IBFD. He's just inconsistent. He's just not a great consistent character. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is inconsistent. Stamina, it takes forever to come back. The same tools you use to do pressure on, like, you know, to run your pressure, you're also spending it for your combos. So you have to be very wary, like, you know, very cautious of how much you're using and what you want to use it for, of course. He's very weak to IBFD, especially if you know how to IBFD the follow-ups. Yeah, I mean, stagger pressure, his pressure with low stamina is just not great. If he's plus, I think, again, the more stamina he has, is the better his offense. The scare factor on his offense is. His power level, the only reason he's up here is because with 3 stamina, or I guess 2, sure, I'll say 2. But 2 and 3 stamina, his power level is really, like, just really high. He has a really strong power level. He's very, very close to being broken. Like, if they were to buff how much stamina he got back, he would be essentially broken. Best DP in the game, pretty much. Good routing, you know, they're able to convert off straight hits that characters can't. With stamina, of course. He doesn't always have it. He's not like Happy Chaos. Dude, I think people are just traumatized from fighting Happy Chaos, dude. Once Sin spends his stamina and breaks the wall, he can't just do it again and break the wall, like, over, like, anywhere on the screen. It doesn't work like that. He can't just, you know, like, I hate to say it, just doesn't work like that. Yeah, good supers, high damage, good DP, but pretty bad mash options, pretty inconsistent, has the worst anti-airs in the game. 5P is horrible, 6P is horrid when it comes to anti-airing, better in neutral. Worst air to ground buttons in the game. Like, JD is probably the worst move in the game. He is a useless move with E, pretty much useless, not completely useless, but it's pretty much useless. But yeah, JD, terrible, like his save, terrible, lack of safe jumps, you know, he just, okay, safe jumps versus like actual, like, versus 9-framers, like, dude, no. Loses neutral to like the whole cast. I mean, his neutral's not great. It's just his power level and the threat of hitting you is just so scary that he's able to kind of run some characters down, it feels, when he shouldn't. But again, like I said, his power level is high. very high, so he's here. 3 stamina, he's essentially like Super Saiyan God. Like, he's immortal. And then once he loses that 1, he like falls down a little. And then when you hit 1 stamina, if you place in, you'll start to realize once you're at 1 stamina, I've been saying this for the longest time. Once you're at 1 stamina, you essentially have no stamina. So very meter hungry when it comes to that as well. Yeah, pretty to add on, pretty whatever normals. It feels pretty laggy normals, big blue boxes. But yeah, don't let them hit you, I guess. Now to order this, because I don't think I'm gonna put any other characters in this tier. I'll put Geo's the worst. I'll put Goldlewis as the best. And I'll put Testament next to them. Or actually, yeah. Then I'll put Sin, Viking, Abba, Slayer, and Faust. That's that tier. Next, we have A tier. Okay, so for the A tier, I'm going to start with Elfelt. Yeah, I'm gonna do Elfelt. So, why is Elfelt here? I think Elfelt is so consistent. She's a really consistent character. She is like the best super in the game with Bomb Vest. I mean, she's just amazing. Like, she just does. I think the only reason she's not higher is because there's some just absurd characters in this game, I guess. But I do think that she's here. I can't even talk about her too much because I mean, her offense crazy, super crazy, better Oki with, you know, she has the jumping bomb move that only some characters can actually deal with at times. It feels like, you know, there's, you know, you kind of have to go out of your way to contest it at times, which just puts you in a situation that's not great. I just think Elfelt's here. I think she's just corny. She's pretty fucked up. Yeah, she goes here in this tier. Next up, Anji. So, I've been saying it for a while. Anji has the best neutral in the game. His neutral is, it's crazy. You spin, you get a full combo for 60%. You spin, you go into fish, it's basically a DP that hard knockdowns and is plus on block for fun. I mean, I do think that, okay, so his offense, in my opinion, did get worse. I know the overhead is like unreactable now, it's like 18 frames, but I think before, having it how it was before, but you're able to RC it, I think that was more scary for me, at least. Now it forces you to focus more on one option, right? So I mean, I think the flaw with him is his offense has gaps in it. I think that DP is very strong versus offense for the most part. But yeah, no, his neutral is broken. Like, his neutral is just absurd. His normals, good mash option with his 2P. Obviously, can confirm the 6H now. Yeah, neutral is just crazy. Spin is just such a broken move. And he already has good normals on top of that, like I said. Good round starts. Great health, like absurdly good health. Has a parry super as well. So, you know, good combos. Very consistent. So, yeah. Anji goes here. Mei. So I know that Mei previously like has been considered like the best character in the game, but the issue with Mei for me is like no one plays the character. I think that we've all talked about S Dolphin from being like the best move in the game to like people forget about it because it's like nobody plays this character like at all. I mean, she's just boring. She's like not really like. She's just boring. She does great damage. Her neutral did get a little worse because I believe her buttons are a little slower. As like 5K and I think it's Far Slash. Still has Dolphin. You know, characters are just better at dealing with it. She loses pretty hard to Anji from what I understand. I believe she loses to Johnny and Nago and whatnot. I don't know who else. I would have to see. She probably loses to like some other characters like Pot too. I mean, who doesn't lose to Pot? But I mean, yeah, she's strong, great damage, broken command grab, probably arguably the best command grab in the game. Great air normals, so if your character has bad anti-air, she just kind of jumps all over you. Yeah, I mean, she's just really good. She's a really good character. Uses Orange Wild Soul super well. Yeah, I'll put her here for now. It's Mei, dude. I don't know, it's Mei. She's been doing Mei things for quite a bit, so I'll just put her here. Then I'm gonna put Johnny. Again, this tier is order. Yeah, I'm gonna go and order it, but at the end of this tier when I'm done with it. But Johnny's here. I think Johnny. So I think compared to some of the other characters in this that are above him, he has to work a little bit harder to win. Not that I think Johnny is bad in any type of way, but he just has to work a little harder. Sorry. He has unreactable dash, 15 frames, but the issue with it is he can't dash block. His post-YRC situation doesn't feel great because there's no dash block. Obviously, no dash block at all just feels bad at times. You know, he has pretty longer recovery on his normals, I guess. Kind of, not really, but sure. I'll give Uwabami that one. There's characters that are pretty good around playing with around Mistfinder, like Nago. Even then, it's like, it goes so far. It's so funny, because when people talk about nerfs for Johnny, a lot of them, the first thing they'll say is make Mistfinder more minus, and I think that's like the funniest thing in the world. Like, it's already minus 15. This is as good as it's gonna get for, you know, whatever. So, but yeah, no, Johnny is just super strong, dude. I mean, flip, vault, whatever you want to call it, it's super broken. Vault RC, obviously super broken. 9-frame far slash with Orange Wild Assault, you know, very scary threat at round start. Feels like he is a zoner. Like, I think he finally fits that role that the game gave him, and he is a zoner. You know, miss cancel. He's so good at setting up spacing traps. Best spacing trap character in the game, probably. You know, kind of hit misfinders as well. You know, being able to just get into your win con, like, or maybe not win con, but such a great situation for you off a blocked in Senga that pushes you back in the perfect spacing trap position, or, you know, a blocked misfinder being able to RPS after because it goes so far, and, you know, being able to create that space, and, you know, kind of, yeah, just huge reward, great Oki, guard crush, strike throw, guess for game here, unreactable overheads, gapless overheads. He does it all. Before it was if you block the button, Johnny can throw you. Now it's you block a button and you can't react to the dash. So yeah, super good character. Does have weaker defense, kind of, not even bad defense, just like not amazing defense. Good confirms off his hits though, off to 2P because you can go to SMF. But some counterplay, there's some knowledge checks to him, but I mean, he's just so good. He's very consistent, does, yeah, Johnny things. Very strong character. Next up in this tier, we have Ram. I'm not even talking about Ram. Ram is just Ram, dude. Like, great normals, great damage, great, you know, she just does everything. Only thing bad side about her is pretty much weaker defense, I guess. And her 5k nerf kind of, I guess, makes her, or not, sorry, not the 5k nerf, the Daru nerf off. You can't do it off, you know, K normals anymore. I don't know. I think, and also it is harder to go into Daru off far slash now since it is slower. But I mean, she's good. She's just Ram. She's so consistent. She does everything. Great pressure. You know, if you know Rock, like, you know, feels like Rock is just a bonus to her kit, and you know, Orange Wild Assault as well. She does everything. I mean, Ram is just Ram, dude. Like, there's not too much to talk about. She just is really, really good. Then you have, I'm gonna put Soul in this tier. Soul, I don't know why people stop talking about him. This character is super, super fucked up. I think he's really, really good. Yeah, I mean, great damage, great reward. I think his neutral's good. Good defense as well. His special moves did get a little worse. They got reworked, I guess. Like Viper, for example, is better in combos and whatnot, but, you know, still has Revolver RC, right? Obviously, meterless Revolver is worse, but, you know, still has the mix-ups with RC. Huge damage, easy access to wall breaks. Or, I mean, no, okay, no. I guess not easy access to wall breaks, because you still have to do the combo. It's just the DP now wall sticks instantly. But, you know, pressure still feels really good. Fafnir, reworked. He's interesting. I still think he's absurdly strong. He still feels like he's doing the same things, just with the new routing. So, yeah, Soul. Next up is probably going to be the last character in this tier, Nago. Nago is absurd. I mean, he is the RP, like, you know, he's never truly minus. Snowball, like, snowballs you from round start, it feels. Still has White Walled Assault. I mean, crazy damage, guard crush on all normals. You can't move versus him. Like, literally the neutral GOAT outside of Anji, it feels. Especially higher blood. Like, still has everything going for him, dude. Like, he is just crazy, dude. You know, probably the best super in the game. Drains all of his blood. Or one of the best supers, I should say. 9-frame reversal as well. Yeah, he tanky. Still has mad guts. Just does everything. Dude, he's so good. Arguably best command grab in the game. Dude, such crazy damage. 6H and 5H guard crush is just so broken. Like, especially since 5H is like -8 now. Like, it's such a broken move. Actually, just broken moves. Oh my gosh, blocking a 6H and then trying to like take your turn is like the scariest thing in the game to do. And if you're wrong, you just die. So yeah, no, Nago is absurd. Let me order this though. I think Elfelt is probably the worst character in this tier, followed up by Mei. I think Nago is probably the best, so I'll keep him here. I think next to Mei, I'll put Anji, and then next to Anji, I'll go Ram. I think Soul is better than Johnny. That's my hot take. I think Soul is better than Johnny. Let's see. Now we're left with 3. Now there is 3. Okay, this pains my heart to put him this low, but Happy Chaos is... I can order this. I'll just do it. I'll just do this one right quick. I'm confident with this. It pains my heart to put Happy Chaos here. I know I'm downplaying Happy Chaos. I know he's here. I know he's the best, but it pains me. I'll put him 3rd. I know. Happy Chaos. Where do I even start? Happy Chaos. Okay, so it feels like this character is just like the best at what he does. Crazy offense, best conversions in the game. It gets his resources back whenever he wants. I mean, yeah, takes you through the wall if any hit. Defense is supposed to be bad, but his reward for being right is just like the best of the game. His flaw is he has less HP than before, so he can... When you put him on his back, he can essentially just die. But, I mean, good mash option. It feels like he has good mash options, but maybe I'm just so blind by the fact that, again, his reward for being right is just so huge, dude. But his mash options actually feel pretty decent, I won't lie. I mean, he wins everywhere on the screen, dude. Like, truly, this character wins everywhere on the screen. Doesn't matter where he is, and doesn't matter what he hits you with, you're going through the wall. Yeah, just absurdly consistent. GOAT tier normals, dude. 2K. 2S, far slash has its uses, right? It's a lot of recovery, like 21 frames of recovery, but it's 10 frames. It's active for a ton, you know. He safe jumps everywhere, mix-ups absurd, fuzzies, you like broken air normals, you name it, dude. He has everything. Pot, I'm not even gonna talk about Pot. I'm not gonna do it. Pot is Pot. We know why he's broken. We know why Potemkin is broken, dude. I mean, he was he was reworked to not have Karos, and they built his kit for just, you know, not having Karos. And then they gave him Karos back. So everything, that's like nerfing Zato. You know what it feels like? It feels like nerfing Zato and, you know, taking away the Eddy timer and then buffing every other area of Zato and then giving him back the Eddy timer. It just like, I don't know what they were thinking. This character is absurdly broken. I recently released a video talking about Potemkin with a boy, so go check that out. Sorry for the promotion. But, you know, Pot is absurd, and Leo is even better, dude. Leo is so broken, dude. Oh my gosh, this is the best character of the game. I mean, what can't Leo do? He is just oaky, absurd, offense, probably just out of this world. Great defense, great DP, especially because the input is just, you know, a charge input. Yeah, great normals, takes a lot of space with the dash. I mean, he is just super good. I don't know, he's just good. Yeah, I think the characters, the top, especially Pot and Leo, I think that's pretty easy to know why these characters are broken. But I mean, these characters are just super strong, dude. Yeah, I can't really imagine who Leo and Pot lose to, so, but yeah, I think that's everyone. Again, my opinions are a lot different. If you remember what I said at the earlier, you know, start of the video about what characters are going to go into, like, what the tiers actually are describing, you see that when I talked about the C tier, for example, being characters that have really big flaws, or they're good in the matchups, they don't lose, but it's harder, right? Notice how you see the lower HP characters there, right? You know, for example, I said B tier, strong and capable, but they have actual flaws that, you know, actually matter, like, you know, a big flaw or whatnot. Like, for example, Abba's in there because she's just not that great versus, like, some zoners, right? But can totally just crush, like, 2/3 of the cast, but has some actual struggle matchups due to her weaknesses. So stuff like that, you know, obviously S tier, and then, like I said before, like, yeah, and then obviously the characters, like I said, in A tier, super strong, very, like, minor flaws, but they're just great characters, dude. That's gonna be it for me. Thanks everyone for watching. I am super curious to hear all your guys' opinions, whether you disagree with me, or you agree with me on a certain point. I want to hear all your opinions. Maybe if you think I'm an idiot for this and this, or maybe you disagree with something I said for a character, or just maybe you play the character and want to let me know your opinion and where I went wrong, or maybe something you learned from what I said, or maybe take in consideration that you didn't take in consideration before when placing a character. Just everything. I want to know everything. So that's gonna be it for me. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and I'll talk to all you guys soon. Hope to see you guys in the comments. Join the Discord server. It will be in the description, and I'll probably put it in the comment section. I always pin it in the comment section as well. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you everyone. Until next time.